Hey everyone, Chad here. In this video, I want to show you how to publish your paperback on CreateSpace, which is an Amazon division. I did have a look around YouTube and noticed some other videos covering this topic. They tend to be 2, 3, or more years old, so I want to give you a fresh perspective on some of the changes that have happened. I've been around the block several times on CreateSpace and Kindle Direct Publishing, and so this isn't going to be a generic video. I do want to layer in some insights to help you succeed with your books. Some of you out there may not feel that creating a paperback is worthwhile. I've changed my opinion on this, and going forward, I will definitely be creating a paperback. It's one more stream of income in your self-publishing empire, and it doesn't hurt and it doesn't take that long to set up or complete. So you definitely want to think about creating a paperback to complement your ebook. You also may want to consider creating an audiobook because you do have that option through ACX, which is Amazon's audiobook division, Audible. So you can really go crazy and cover all the bases if you want to be able to tap in to various reader types and preferences that readers have. The last point I want to make is regarding formatting. Paperbacks put more of a premium on it because it's a physical product, whereas with ebooks, as you know, KDP, it's just a matter of uploading a Word document, let's say, and it kind of takes care of itself. If you don't have the skills to work through the formatting, I recommend securing a freelancer on a site like Upwork or Fiverr. Turn it around in a few days, you don't need to worry about it, and you'll have a great looking product in the end. One of the major changes that have taken place is that we now have the ability to create our paperbacks in KDP. So before, it used to be just CreateSpace was one platform and KDP was another, but once again we do have that ability, and you can see it right here. You also can click on Create Paperback right here, which we'll go ahead and do. On the first tab here, as you can see, the information and details from your ebook just carries over, so you don't need to populate anything new. On the second tab, you'll have to go section by section to understand what's going on. So the first one here is the print international standard book number, ISBN number, publication date. Then you have a range of print options, including interior and paper type, trim size, bleed settings, paperback cover finish. Here you can upload your manuscript and cover, and then you can preview your book. Even though you can create your paperback on KDP, I highly recommend using CreateSpace. CreateSpace is a lot more visual, it's a lot more intuitive, it's a lot more user-friendly and paperback-centric, probably because of the history there. You can try both platforms if you haven't tried one or the other before, get a feel for each, and then you can decide. My personal preference is using CreateSpace, so let's head over there. I've logged into my CreateSpace account. This is what the dashboard looks like, and the first thing you're going to do is click on Add New Title. Now you're going to input the name of your project, which essentially is your title. It says here you can change your title at any time before you submit your project for review. So I'm just going to put in here YouTube Success. Then you're going to choose which type of project you want to start. So here we're going to choose paperback. Then you have an option here of a guided step-by-step process, which I recommend for beginners. Or if you've been around this block before, you have the expert option here, and it's a streamlined single-page experience for those familiar with the process. Returning to the dashboard, you can see that our book is here, YouTube Success. We're going to click on it and head over to what really is the main area for working through the steps to creating your paperback. The Create tab is reserved for any services that you may have purchased through CreateSpace, for example, editing. On the Setup tab is where we see a lot of this information that is similar to KDP, so title information, ISBN, etc. Review is where things happen on CreateSpace's end, so that's when they review your book and communicate with you there. Distribute is about picking channels, pricing, and description, and publishing on Kindle from here, or KDP if you want. And Sales and Marketing tab, there's not really too much to do there unless you want to purchase additional services. Let's begin with the Setup tab and just work through these different components. So we'll go back to title information. You can see my title is here. I can input a subtitle. I'm the primary author, and I can also add contributors. I can click here if this book is part of a series. It will help readers find other books in that series. Edition number if it's applicable, the primary language that your book is in, and you can choose a publication date. Once you're complete here, you can click on Save and Continue. If you don't have an international standard book number, no problem. CreateSpace will assign one to you, and you can click here, Assign Free ISBN. You can also provide your own if you had purchased one, and you can learn more about ISBNs by clicking on these helpful tips and ideas. On the interior tab, you see we have a bunch of options, and this is what I was referring to in terms of more visual. So you can pick your interior type, black and white, your paper color. If you choose full color or cream, it's going to be more costly to produce your book, so that's something to keep in mind. Here they talk about the trim size, and what's nice here is that they provide some templates for you to use. So once again, you may have secured a freelancer to format your book. If you're going to do it on your own, you have these templates here to use, and you can also estimate your book's manufacturing cost. Here is where you can click on to upload your book, and if you want to talk to a professional, this is when your cost for producing your book can get really expensive. So you may want to avoid this or at least come to understand more about it. But again, here's where you're going to upload your book file. So you click here, you browse your desktop or wherever your file is sitting as you typically would with other programs or applications. Then you're going to upload it, click OK, and then you'll click Save. On the cover tab, we start with the finish that you want for your book. So you have a couple of options here. Then it's a matter of deciding how you want to submit the cover for your book. First option they give you is not the one you want to go with. You do not want to build your cover online. Hopefully you've thought about your cover and you've gone about securing either a freelancer or designing it yourself. But this is just a bad option because it's going to leave you with a generic looking book cover that's not going to sell well. Here, CreateSpace offers a professional cover design service. I do not recommend it. Like I said, you can secure a freelancer for an affordable price off Upwork, Fiverr, or other freelance platforms. Once you have your print-ready PDF cover, you're just going to upload it here. You can also learn more and get some helpful tips and ideas in this section. We've completed a few steps here, and the next step would be complete setup. But before we go there, I can see that I have an alert notice. So on this page, this is telling me that our automated print check found 6 issues with my file. The nice thing about CreateSpace is I can get a sense of what my book looks like. I can check out these issues with this Launch Interior Reviewer. This will give me an idea of the appearance, what's kind of happening at this stage of the game, and I can go through it one by one just to make sure things are as they appear. We're not going to spend too much time here, but this is a very convenient tool and definitely something on your to-do list to do. So you can easily scroll through the pages of your book. You can see here there's some formatting issues because my paragraphs fall outside the margins. Over here are the 6 issues that CreateSpace called out. I know what page I'm on, I can get different views here, and then there's some other information bytes around here. But you should definitely put this on your to-do list before you complete setup, just to try to get as much work done and understand where you are before you move forward. When you're ready to move forward, you can go through complete setup. You'll be submitting these details to CreateSpace's backend. Their people will have a look at it to do the checks and balances. Your file is going to sit and review. Once they're done, they'll send you a notification via email to let you know. Then you can proof your book. So you can buy 1, 2, or however many copies you like, get your book sent to your home, have a look at it, review it carefully, just to ensure that everything is as you want it to be. To go through the Distribute tab, I just chose a different book for the purposes of this tutorial. So we can start with channels, and you have standard distribution, so Amazon.com, Amazon Europe. Nothing really complicated here. You have some expanded distribution options, which are also free. Then you can just pick them and click on Save and Continue. On the pricing page, you'll input the price that you want to sell your book at. You have the US amount, the British amount, the Euro. Here it gives you the different channels and the different royalties per channel. The important thing here to take away is it's not so much just inputting a price. Hopefully you would have thought about your pricing strategy. If you have an ebook out there as well, do you want to put in a price of your paperback that is higher so that folks look at your ebook with a lower price and say, hey, I can get a discount, let me get the ebook. So work out a pricing strategy. This isn't a random event. It's all part of creating a book that's going to sell well and help you succeed. Your description is a big part of the self-publishing success equation, so you want to spend some time in this area. You want to give it a lot of thought. You want to explore what other authors do and best practices. I know I go with the AIDA formula: attention, interest, desire, action. It's an old school advertising formula, and there's various formulas out there for writing copy. The other thing that I do is I use HTML code. So Amazon allows you to use limited HTML. For example, you see here H2 and H2. So if you look at this book, it's no longer available, but if you did look at it, what you would see here is the first line pops with bold and larger font. Then if we scroll down a little bit, I've used it here as well to bold different words and italics. So just click here to see what's going on and you'll get some ideas of the HTML codes that you can play with. The BISAC category is where you're going to choose the category or categories that your book belongs to. As we scroll down, there's additional information here, such as author biography. I prefer to input this through Author Central, so you have that option, or you can do it here. The book your language is in, which we've seen before. Country of publication, if you want to put that in, that's optional. Search keywords are very important. It's one of two areas that you can influence search relevance on Amazon. The other area being your title and subtitle, if you will. So here I think a lot about which keywords I want to input. I've put here web design, blogging, search for this book. I may also want to see what other books are selling well and kind of try to ride that bandwagon. But think about your search keywords. You can put up to 7 of them. If it's adult content, you can check these off if applicable. We're back at the start. There's one more item outstanding here, publish on Kindle. Just like how I recommend that you don't create your paperback through KDP, I don't recommend that you create your ebook through CreateSpace. The two are different platforms. You're better off creating your ebook on KDP. The effort and turnaround times to create a paperback through CreateSpace are a lot more demanding than what they are for an ebook through KDP. Nevertheless, I think it's a great idea. It's something I'm going to jump on going forward. And it's nice to have that potential income stream dangling out there in combination with your ebook. Best of luck with your self-publishing activities, and I'll see you in my other videos. Bye for now.